Guys, welcome back to another episode of the AT3 Tactical Podcast. My name's Josh, and I am once again joined by Charlie Onan, our washed-up competitive shooter, and CJ, a.k.a. Nick, the new guy in the gun industry. And, with Form 4s and Form 1s and the changes that are coming up to the NFA next year, CJ has been asking us just about every single day, guys, when can I put the stock on my pistol? Guys, when can I put the stock on my pistol? And I figured we should probably just talk about it, right? Because it's going to be a lot of people's first time next year not having that, that pesky $200 tax stamp, and they still got to do the paperwork for now.
The $200 has been a deterrent for a lot of people.
Yeah. For me, it was always the paperwork, but
paperwork and wait time.
For me, I realize I'm a bit luckier than most people, and that's that I get to buy things in the industry at a discount compared to some people. But
well, and luckily, the paperwork isn't that hard.
It's just annoying.
It's
you don't think it's that hard?
No, you follow the instructions. There's good resources out there for it.
Okay.
But the wait time, this year, 2025, wait times have been a week to a month for most people.
I saw a post on Twitter yesterday. It was someone got it in a matter of hours.
Yeah,
because
Form
they're
4 maybe.
Yeah, because they're so low now.
The fastest 4s I've seen, I had my buddy Jerry, his name's Danny, he's a pilot. I think he got a Form 4 back in 2 hours.
Yeah, I know a few stores have gotten them back same day, like middle of the summer, spring, when they were very, very quick. Government shut down recently, so and this is October or November 11th that we're filming this now. So government opened back up this past weekend.
Yeah.
But during that time, they forego doing the NICS check portion of it, the background check portion of it. Essentially, I heard that they brought everyone back in to start doing them again. But now there's a larger delay because of the government shut down and essentially they didn't process for a bit.
I think if the government shut down and I can't buy a gun because of it, doesn't that mean my rights infringed?
That's why they brought them all back.
Yeah. Sure, my rights are infringed if a government shutdown means I can't access my right.
Yep. Yeah. I would fully agree. A right delayed is a right denied.
Yeah.
But ultimately, come the first of the year, allegedly the tax is going down to $0. Somehow it's still a tax, but they don't collect any money.
Why do you say allegedly?
It hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
It's the government. You never know what's going to happen until it happens.
But that's a matter of law, is it not? Like that's been signed into like an actual law.
I think it was packaged in with
the big beautiful bill.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful bill.
Well, at the end of the day, there's still time for someone to come in and say, "Hey, we're going to change that fee to whatever it would be with inflation, $5,000, let's call it."
Which is the reason the NFA itself just has to go, in my opinion, because if
Yep.
the Republicans can change it to $0, the Democrats can change it to $5,000.
Well, and with the big beautiful bill passing, it almost opened a little can of worms because that price hasn't changed since 1934, 36, 34, whenever that was enacted. But so essentially it hasn't changed. So now it's changed.
Yeah.
So now the can of worms is open that
So
you
now
can
anybody
change
can
that.
Now anybody can change it as much as they want.
But essentially there's kind of three sticking points. Is you have the paperwork, you had the $200 fee, and then you have the wait time.
Yeah.
So in this past spring, summer, essentially the wait time was super low. That was some that a lot of people liked.
Yeah.
A lot of people went, you don't want to buy some and wait 6 months to actually use it, to get it.
Yeah.
Unless you're really dedicated.
Unless you're really dedicated, but
Which
at the same time.
Was the case before for people that wanted this stuff.
For any other
really
product, outside of maybe cars, something like that, are you going to buy something today and wait 6 months to get it? In most cases, if you went to any store, you ordered some and it took 6 months for them to get it for you, you'd be livid. But it's kind of funny because with the NFA stuff, it's like the day you get it, you are so happy that you finally got it.
Yeah.
Because you waited so long.
Well, especially if it's a matter of I'm spending the money and then I have to wait to actually use the thing. You know what I'm saying? It's
most local gun stores will require you to pay up front for the can, and then you have to pay for the stamp as well. So essentially, whatever your can costs plus a $200 tax on top of it, plus the sales tax that you paid on it as well.
Well, then-
SBR, if you're outright buying an SBR, not doing a Form 1.
Yep.
So I think we should probably clarify that there are different form types for people that have literally never bought anything from the NFA. We should probably talk about what this is in the first place.
Yep. Yeah.
Just give them a little bit of background. The NFA was something that was signed into law, I think, back during the Prohibition era.
I think it was 34.
Yeah, the purpose was to stop.
Essentially, it was in response to the Valentine's Day massacre.
Yeah.
Everyone, feel free to fact check me on this stuff. It's been a while since I've looked at it.
Shooting
Actually,
from the hip a little bit on this one.
oh, very much so. Yeah. But Valentine's Day massacre. Essentially, they put this in. I mean, $200 back in 1934 essentially was like $5,000 today in 2025.
Yeah.
So essentially, CJ, hey, you want a suppressor, an SBR, that's a $5,000 tax plus the cost of the materials.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was to directly regulate the Tommy gun, which was the gun that was used in the.
I think that was like the one that everyone was looking at, but there's others out there too.
Kind of the wood stock with the wood grip with the big round drum mag.
Iconic,
thing.
baby.
Yeah,
The
it's a
scary
great
gun.
great gun.
Scary gun thing has always been around.
The guitar case.
Yeah,
for 'em.
yeah.
I still want one so bad.
There's a company that's still making them today. I think the original company is still making them.
I know Thompson Center's still around. I don't.
You still get them.
I
You can't get them automatic.
Yeah, that's what I want though. I want the pre-ban one.
That's another discussion for
That's
later.
money.
Yeah.
But so essentially, we'll start with a Form 4. A Form 4 is a transfer of a NFA item that has already been registered. So that would be like Dead Air created a suppressor.
Yep.
They registered it as an NFA item, and now you're going to buy it.
Okay.
So that's a transfer.
Yeah.
Form 1 is the creation of or the making of a NFA item. So let's say you wanted to, you have a rifle or a pistol at home and you want to legally convert that into a short-barreled rifle, you would need to do a Form 1 and submit that essentially to the ATF.
So that's the part where a lot of people might get confused. Is the legal term technically manufacturing that into an SBR?
To be the manufacturer would be like you started from scratch.
Yeah.
To be the maker would be like you took a AT3 lower and you built it into an SBR. You are not the manufacturer of the firearm. You are the maker of the NFA item.
Right. So you are making an SBR, not manufacturing an SBR.
Unless you
You're
started
doing
with
Form
like
1.
a 80% lower or something like that where there was no manufacturer to start with.
Right.
So kind of just basic general rule of thumb is if you went through the FFL process to acquire it, you're more than likely going to be the maker of it.
So
not
someone
the
like me who
manufacturer.
has an AR pistol, I have a brace on my gun, all that, I want to make it into an SBR, that would be me making an SBR.
You would be the
not
maker.
manufacturing an SBR.
Yep. And really the differences aren't much. Really it comes down to the engraving side of it. That manufacturer, if you're the manufacturer, now you have to deal with it. You have to serialize it, a caliber, a couple other things that you need to make sure that you engrave versus when you're the maker, a lot of that stuff's already engraved on the gun.
Sure.
Like you're going to use the same serial number that's on it. Sure. But when you're the maker, that's when essentially you're putting on your name and city and state, essentially. But so that's basically the difference between a Form 4 and a Form 1.
Right.
Form 1, you're essentially making something that has never been registered as an NFA item before. A Form 4 is essentially a transfer of something that's already registered.
Right.
So now, let's say you built an SBR and you want to sell it to me. That would be a Form 4.
Right.
Because it's already registered as an NFA item. Now we have to go, we need to go through the paperwork and all that to do it legally. But
Yeah. So like next year, I wanna make my pistol into an SBR and I want to get a suppressor. So I would have to do a Form 4 to make my now pistol into
Form
an
1.
SBR.
You
Form 1 to do that, and
Yep.
then a Form 4 to buy a suppressor, and
Yep.
then get that transferred from somewhere.
Form 4s are, I guess in my experience, like I've always gone to my local gun store, go down to Arnzen and essentially they take care of everything for me.
Okay.
Usually one of the biggest deterrents is fingerprints and passport photos.
With the kiosks now, that's so
Yep.
much easier.
Who's it? Silencer Shop.
Yeah.
They have their kiosks. I know around us, like, we don't have a ton of kiosks. There's one, I think, 15 minutes from us, but a lot of local gun stores, they'll have fingerprint readers or essentially fingerprint scanners on hand.
Okay.
So,
So Form 4s are a lot easier for them to do for you?
yes.
Okay.
Essentially.
Why is that?
Well, because they're all set up for it.
Okay.
One of the things that you need to do when you submit a Form 1 or a Form 4 is fingerprints and passport photo. Most gun stores, they'll have some type of fingerprint reader that'll give you, is it ATF file? I think that's what your fingerprints are.
Yeah.
But they'll usually, if you ask them, you can get that file from them. So now you can do your Form 1s at home. Okay. You can get your passport photo from them too if you ask nicely.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The thing with the kiosks is you can't get them. They are locked into Silencer Shop then.
Okay.
So it's really nice if you're utilizing Silencer Shop,
Yeah.
and that's who you buy your cans through and that stuff. But if you want to go to Joe's hunting shop and he's got a SBR that you really want that Silencer Shop doesn't have, or they got a much
Joe's
better
hunting
price.
shop is going to have an SBR that we want.
I don't
He'd
know.
be a really cool hunting shop. I'd want to go there.
Essentially, it's like I'm kind of locked in there.
Yeah.
So the kiosks are really great, super easy to use, great for first timers, and they walk you through the process kind of like an anti-fail system. But most local gun stores still have some type of fingerprint reader and the ability to produce a passport photo.
Well, maybe, so let's do this. I feel like we've been jumping around a little bit. So let's start with like the beginning, which is, okay, you're, someone like me, where should I start the process of doing all of this? Like, do I start with a trust? Do I start with...
Do you want
everything
a
else?
Form 1 or Form 4?
I want to make my gun into an SBR, so that'd be a...
And put a suppressor on it.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So, and put a suppressor on it. But let's start with the SBR. Let's make that easy and
So
say...
you bring up something interesting. There's trust
Yeah.
versus individual. There's a couple other designations, essentially corporations, stuff like that, but we'll focus on trust and individual since that's what a vast majority of people are going to be doing. Essentially, any NFA item can be registered to you as an individual. No trust is needed, no additional paperwork, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That has benefits.
It does, but it also has drawbacks.
Yeah.
The benefits would be it's super easy. There's no additional responsible parties or responsible people that need to fill out paperwork. Essentially,
Generally faster on approval, too.
correct, because if you submit a trust, now they have to read through the trust to make sure that it fits whatever the ATF wants out of them. I'm no lawyer, so I have no clue what they're looking
Well,
for.
those trusts are usually...
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and usually what I've heard too is like they actually read every single line of the trust.
Yeah.
But then there's something that you can do called a 24-month exception, which we won't get into, so then they don't have to read it again.
Okay.
We won't get too deep into that. But so essentially right out of the gate, you have two options. As an individual, that is one item.
Yep.
Now you can have multiple items under your name, but essentially it is... you can't have anyone else on that. So, CJ, you're married. If you had a SBR that was under an individual and you left it out on your coffee table at home and left, and your wife's still at home, technically that could be a crime.
Okay. So if police come in for whatever reason, she's there with the SBR.
Yep. I'd probably focus more on the reason on why police broke into your house in the first place.
Yeah.
You probably have bigger issues going on than just that SBR sitting out on a table while you aren't home. But even like, I've heard instances of like, your wife can't even have the code to your safe because now they have access to it. So it's kind of that gray area. So to kind of protect yourself, you can go into a trust.
Okay.
Now, there's two different types. Well, there's multiple types of trusts out there. We'll kind of focus on the two main ones. One, I think Silencer Shop kind of coined it as a single shot trust, or I call them single item trusts. Essentially, that trust has a single item under it. Now you can add multiple people to it. You can add people, remove people. You cannot add any other NFA items. It is for one particular item. So in this instance, you want to SBR and suppress.
Yeah.
So you would need 2 trusts for that.
I see. If I went that way.
If you went that route.
Yeah.
Well, the pros and cons with it is pros being you can submit the trust as you being the only one on there. So fairly fast approval. They only need to do 1 background check, 1 set of prints, 1 passport photo, et cetera, et cetera. And then you can add your wife after. And she does not need to go through the responsible person. Essentially, you are vouching that she can possess it.
Yeah.
That's kind of what's happening there. You can also remove her down the line.
Okay.
Essentially, it's a form that you get notarized
Okay.
to remove them. And then kind of the downsides of it is now you have 1 trust for your suppressor, 1 trust for your SBR, and technically you need to carry those with you along with your forms after they're approved.
Okay.
Well, so I know a lot
Trust
of...
with the stamp?
Yep.
Okay. You have to have those like in your range bag or in your gun bag with you at all times?
possession with them.
Okay. Why is that?
You got to ask the government.
Oh, okay.
It's your permission slip.
It really is. Well, so essentially the stamp is to the trust.
Yes.
Well, what ties you to that stamp?
Wow.
The trust.
Yeah.
So if you want to be able to tie yourself to that stamp, you need to have the trust there that says your name on it.
Yeah, okay. I get
That you
it.
can be in possession. So I personally, I don't know anyone that's been in that scenario.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure it's happened. It wouldn't be that way if it hadn't happened.
you piss off the right LEO or ATF agent, and they can
The wrong guy at the range.
Yeah, you kind of want to tread lightly with it.
Sure.
It's one of those that I personally, I'd rather not deal with it.
Yeah.
It's easy enough to carry some paper with you. I've heard of people like shrinking them down
Yeah,
to like an 8-page trust onto like a quarter sheet of paper. Just the font so
And a
small.
lot of the time you're going to get digital copies too.
Yep.
So keeping those on your phone is always a bonus. You're like, look, I do have the paperwork. We can just go get it.
Yeah, I don't know how...
If you have cool cops.
I don't know like the legalities of that.
Sure. Of the digital stuff.
If digital works, but now at the same time, you don't get physical stamps anymore. You get digital. So essentially, in my opinion, it would be okay to produce it in the same format that it was given to you.
Yeah.
I guess to me that would be acceptable, but we're dealing with government here, so probably not.
It's just like proof of insurance. Almost everyone has digital proof of insurance. It's something that's on your phone. You save it, and then you pull it up if you get pulled over instead of reaching over to the glove box.
So are those the only 2 versions of trusts, or is that there's an individual and then there's the
The other one would be like a full-blown trust that essentially you can keep adding items onto it.
Very good idea if you are a collector, because it also makes, say you get into a car accident and you've left all of that to your wife.
Yeah.
It makes that whole process far simpler. Whereas if it's under an individual, that stuff is basically just, in my understanding, it's just like a moot point at that stage if it's all individual, right?
So you can add whoever you want to your individuals. The problem, now the thing is with that is that your individual item trust is for one item. You can never add any other NFA items to it.
So you need multiple trusts if
So
you want.
now-
If you're like me, who wants SBR and a can.
You would need 2 trusts. You could add your wife to both.
Yeah.
But now when you want to go get another NFA item,
Yeah.
you need another trust. Now, benefit of that is, okay, you got your wife on your SBR and your suppressor. You go get a new trust. You're the only one on there. Approval times are down to one, or for one person, not multiple people. You don't need multiple fingerprints, don't need multiple responsible person paperwork, all that stuff. So that's where kind of the kicker comes in.
Yeah.
So now if you get the full-blown trust where you can add multiple items to it, just keep adding, it makes it very easy from a paperwork standpoint. It's one trust. You keep adding to it, and it's one trust.
Yeah.
But now let's say you add your wife to it and your dad. Well, your dad doesn't live super close to you.
Yeah.
So essentially, if you want to go get another NFA item under that trust, you need your dad to fill out a responsible person form. You need his fingerprints, his passport photo, along with your wife's information as well. And so now when you go to get approval, they need to run background checks on 3 people and essentially kind of triple that process for a personal
The other
approval.
downside that I see is that all of a sudden they have access to all of your NFA items too, instead of just one. Like if you want to borrow a can to somebody for the weekend,
that's the other side.
All of a sudden, oh wait, I want to add them to my trust. Oh wait, now they have access to like my 3 SBRs and my 3 other cans and all this other stuff.
So, depending on who you are, you might want a full-blown trust for kind of like the stuff that you want to share with your wife.
Yeah.
But then you might want a couple individuals for the stuff you don't want your wife to know about. It's like, oh, that old thing? Yeah. I've had that forever.
They gave it to me.
But
They gave it to me.
They did.
I know personally I like doing the single item trust more so because it gives more flexibility.
I was going to ask you guys what you have in terms of trusts for your stuff.
Almost all of mine are under. I have a couple individual items, which once this $200 tax goes away, I'm going to transfer into trusts.
Oh, okay.
Because so one of the kind of the downsides is, let's say you register as an individual. Well, now you have a trust that you want to put it in. As of today, that's a $200 issue. That's a Form 4.
Really? Oh,
because you're
it's
transferring.
Yeah,
Yep.
even though you're transferring to yourself.
Yep, that's a $200 problem.
Okay.
Now, essentially there's no wait time because you already possess it. You're legal to possess it. But
Okay.
It's silly. But now, once allegedly at the beginning of the year that $200 is going to go away, you still have to do the Form 4 to transfer it to your trust.
Yeah.
But there's no $200 fee. So if you have individual stuff out there right now, come the beginning of the year, that might be something that you want to look into, is actually transferring them into a trust. There's a company out there, nationalguntrust.com.
Yeah.
They have great resources for all this stuff. You can get single trust items. You can get full trusts through them. They're very cost effective.
Okay.
Their communication's great. And like really, if this is something that you guys want to look into, that's where I would go.
What was that
first.
again? We'll put a link down in the description.
Yeah.
Nationalguntrust.com, I believe it is. Yeah, and essentially...
If he's wrong, we'll double check it and make sure the link is right for you.
I'm pretty sure that's right, yeah.
Make sure to flame me in the comments that I was wrong on that. But literally, I actually got another trust last night for...
I say you were just doing a Form 1 yesterday, right?
I haven't done the Form 1 yet, but I got the trust last night. I engraved it this morning, and then, I'll probably fill out the Form 1 this afternoon.
So, okay, so then I get my trust set up, maybe do National Gun Rights, something like that, get that all figured out, and then what's kind of the next part? Is it then doing kind of the Form 1 stuff or the Form 4? Like,
so, depends if you have fingerprints or not, and passport photo or not.
Okay.
Like I said, usually you can go to your local gun store. They'll, if you ever...
Yeah, don't let either of these things be a deterrent. If you're thinking about doing this, it's not nearly as hard as it sounds.
What, the passport and the...
The guy behind the gun desk is going to take a picture with his iPhone.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
He's going to pull down a white thing. Yeah. You're going to stand in front of it.
Hey, Steve, come here and hold this.
Yeah.
And they'll come up, they'll hold a white board behind you, they'll take a picture of it. From what I've heard is... your fingerprints and passport photo won't actually be an issue until they need it. So literally it goes into a file. You could send black smudges. The problem is that when you sign your Form 1 or Form 4, you're saying I submitted compliant prints and photos.
It's not hard.
Yes, it really isn't. But so you go to your local gun store, you ask them hey, I want to do a Form 1. Can you guys do my fingerprints pretty please? Depending on who you are, your local gun store will probably just say, yeah, come on over. And then they can email them to you. They might charge you $15 or something, but they are good for a year or two.
Okay.
If you're in a small town, you can usually go down to a city commissioner's office or something, and you can say, "Hey, I need to get fingerprints on." They'll do it for free.
I've been in our county sheriff's office before, down in the jail area, getting fingerprints done before.
It's not a hard process, and you should not be intimidated by it, and let it stop you from going down this path.
Because they're going to give you a digital file, right,
Yes,
to
an
take back
ETF.
and submit. They're going to give you an ETF that you can then submit with your forms.
Essentially, when you're doing your form, there's a spot where you upload your passport photo and your prints.
Okay, cool. Because they're not just going to hand you like a piece of paper or whatever and be like, here you go, and then.
Well, so
What do I do now?
there are ways to mail them in. We aren't going to cover that today. Essentially, after you submit, you can mail in a fingerprint card. Essentially, I think you have like 10 days to mail it in, but it's just adding wait time. UPS stores can do fingerprints. There's a couple of services out there that will actually like make an appointment with UPS stores for you to go get your fingerprints.
Okay.
But now there is a fee to it. So it's kind of like support your local gun store and hopefully they take care of you.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to get them for free and don't want to pay, go buy a can. And when they do your prints and passport photo, just say, hey, can you email them to me? I've yet to hear anyone say no. Okay. And I guess for me, like, you have a photo of me and my fingerprints. That is mine.
Yeah.
Like, you need to send that to me.
Yeah.
But they'll usually keep it on file too. So if you ever go back, you want another can, they can just pull it right up.
So basically, go get your trust set up, then go get your fingerprints and your passport photo done. Okay, perfect. So I got that stuff. Then what?
Now you're onto the ATF side of it. This is the fun part.
Oh, great.
So essentially, you need to go to the ATF's website. You need to create an account. It's not hard. It's free to do.
Thank goodness.
If you've ever done a Form 4 or you bought a can, you have to set up an ATF account. So not even if you're the one selling it, if you're the one buying it, you need to set up the ATF account. You can usually do that right at the gun store. If you don't have one yet, they'll walk you through it all. But for like a Form 1 where you don't have a gun store walking you through it, essentially they're going to give you a login ID and a password that you log in with. And then essentially there's going to be a list of forms. You click on Form 1 and you just literally read it.
Okay.
Read what it says. Take it very literal. Also, nationalguntrust.com, they have walkthrough guides. They have video walkthroughs and written walkthroughs.
So maybe have that off to the side in another window or something as you're doing this?
Yeah, and it can get a little confusing at times. As simple as it is, it's just like, it's very easy to overthink this because you're dealing with the government and like potentially breaking a law, stuff like that.
I just went and got my fingerprints done. I'm like, I'm building.
Every time you get to that illegal alien question on the 4473, am I?
What do I do here?
Is it yes or no?
Where was I born?
It's so funny because it's like...
That's the one that gets me every time.
Well, and then there's the B question to it.
Yeah, that's why it's the one that gets me every time.
Which now on the digital 4473s, it actually grays that out so you can answer it, but on the paper ones, I
get so many people.
I've
had to redo a few of those forms because
I was just going to say...
I'm not an alien.
I was just going to say, I know probably 6 months ago I did a 4473 where as soon as like I did it, I'm like, Brian, I need another 4473. I screwed up.
Okay, so hold on. So you just said 4473. What's that for people who don't?
The 4473.
We're doing Form 1, Form 4s, and also 4470. What are all these numbers?
The 4473 is your traditional transfer of a firearm.
Oh, okay.
It's your next federal background check. You know the one the government says doesn't exist?
Yep.
So background check.
Essentially, if you ever go buy a gun from a FFL, Federal Firearms Licensed Dealer, you should fill out a 4473 when you buy it. And it's just your personal information. It's going to ask you a series of questions. Essentially, are you the actual buyer of this gun? And then a bunch of other ones. And really all it is at the end of the day, and a lot of people actually that commit crimes get caught up on this, is like, first question, are you the actual buyer? Well, if you aren't, your plan is to go sell it to Gangster Jim. Like, okay, you just lied on a federal form. And now they can charge you with that.
Boom.
So essentially a lot of those questions are more of like, they want something in the back pocket that if they catch you, they can charge you with it. So that's what a lot of it is. But yes, it goes through NICS, FBI's background check. Depending on your state, it's a little different with some states.
Sure, yeah.
Personally, I think the NICS background check should be sufficient even for the NFA items.
Essentially, they use NICS for that.
Like, it should just be that, right? If I want to buy a suppressor, just do that little background check. Because I mean, if you're in another country, other countries like Norway, in Norway it's an over-the-counter item. It's like buying, literally like buying ammunition. You just go, boom, here, I want to buy this, and they sell it to you. But not here and not in Canada.
Technically, the forms are for taxes.
Yeah.
Not registration.
Right.
Sure.
So, but it's like, why do you need all this information to register? But essentially, once you start going through the Form 1 process, one of the first questions, it's been a while since I actually did this process, but one of the first questions is going to be is individual, trust, or corporation. Well, which one are you doing? Pretty self-explanatory.
Which is why it's good to set that up before you go filling all this out, because you're going to get hung up on the first question.
I mean, if it were me doing this for the very first time, I would start just by doing a Form 4 so that I have a better understanding of it. And if you're doing it at a gun shop, they're going to help you get your NRA, and not your NRA. They're going to help you get your ATF account set up. You're going to kind of have a picture of what the process looks like. Then I would do a Form 1. I wouldn't start with the Form 1 because that's when you're going to intimidate yourself out of the space.
Yep, and it's at the same time, like, don't necessarily say, oh, I need to go buy a suppressor before I can do an SBR. Because really, like I said, the questions aren't that hard. It's just people tend to overthink them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, plus I think a lot of people are going to be like me, where maybe they have an AR pistol or something like that, and it's essentially going to be, if allegedly, like you said, it's going to be the cost of the stock, basically, to turn your gun into the SBR.
Well, and so we kind of skipped one thing here, is a lot of the times you need to get your trust notarized.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So essentially, you need to get a notary. Okay. UPS stores will do that. County clerks will do it. Banks will do it. Depending on who you go to, they might charge you. They might not.
So this is kind of on your errand list.
Yep.
If you get your trust set up, then you go get it notarized.
Yep.
Then you go get your fingerprints and stuff done.
Yep.
But notary, that's pretty simple to do, right?
Yeah. There's a bunch of notaries out there. Yeah. Essentially, you're looking for a notary for the public.
You can go do it at a bank or something, right?
Banks can do it. Government centers
can usually do it. There's usually a notary at the UPS store.
Yep. Yeah, UPS, they'll charge you like $15 a signature sometimes, though, depending on which one you go to. Depending on your trust, you might need 8 signatures. It can add up really, really quick.
Yeah.
Your best bet is either go to a bank or reach out to your friend group. If you know any realtors that you're friends with, good chance they're a notary.
Yeah, okay.
Kind of just like leverage your friend group. When I needed one, I found out I had 3 friends within 15 minutes that were notaries.
Oh, my fiance is a notary.
Yeah, so essentially it's not super hard to do. It's paperwork, a little bit of money, and you're a notary. It's kind of just standards that you're going to live up to.
Yeah.
The other thing, too, is if your trust needs a witness for signatures. With National Gun Trust, that's an option.
Sure.
That you can pick with or without. Pros and cons to have witnesses. Now, if I want to add you to give you access to one of my cans, I need a notary and a witness and you to add you. So like it can add complication, but at the same time it adds security that no one can change it without a witness being present.
Sure.
But so the biggest thing is you need to scan in all those documents into a PDF. You can get a little PDF or a little scanner, paper scanner for like $25 off Amazon. It's something you plan on doing a lot, or you can go to like a UPS store, FedEx store, whatever. Sure. Get it scanned in.
Sure.
There's even apps you can get on your phone that can do it too.
Oh yeah, sure.
But
I think we have a scanner here at the office now. I think so.
When I use Genius Scan. I don't know if Genius Scan's like a little iPhone app. You just put the paper on a table and then you hold your camera phone over it and it'll just cut it out, boom, converts it into a PDF.
So now kind of the downside of doing it with like your phone is, can the ATF read it? Is that acceptable for them? So it's like, at the end of the day, the last thing you want is for something like that to be the reason that you got denied on it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, F around and find out a little bit. But at the same time, it should be fine. If it's legible to you, they should be able to read it.
It was a miserable experience when the wait times were. I don't know what the wait times are right now after the government shutdown. I'm assuming they might be a little bit longer. But
I've heard in the 20s for Form 4s right now.
20
so like
days. It was just still super
3 to
fast
4x
compared to say like 2023 and before 2023 and before. I think it was 2024 when they started to speed up.
Yep.
Because I bought my Mark 18 and my Surefire in January of 24, and then I had to wait until May of 24. And then it was like that month, my buddies are like, oh yeah, I did a Form 4 today and it came back in 72 hours. It's like, you son of a... But yeah, you definitely want to wait. Like if I had waited 5 months for them to be like, oh, you filled out this line wrong.
Yep.
Start over.
Yep.
And lost my mind.
That's another 6 months or however long. Yeah.
So kind of once you have everything digitized, if you do a trust, you also need responsible person forms.
Is that 5320.23?
Something like that. Okay. It's one of the 5320s dot something.
Yeah.
Essentially, everyone that's on the trust needs to fill out a responsible person form. You need to scan that in. Okay. That needs to be uploaded along with fingerprints and passport photos.
And is that the one that's like, is that the Biden one of like, you're not a druggie, or you're not like a felon, or you're not like
essentially,
all that
it's
stuff?
a lot of the same questions as your 4473.
Okay.
It's literally like the exact same questions except for question 1.
Okay, yeah.
So essentially, it's not asking you if you're the buyer. It's just, are you a legal alien? Are you a drug user? Have you been committed? Have you committed felonies? Yada, yada, yada. So it's very simple, very easy. It's just read the question, answer it. Read the question, answer it, except for
and
that.
And answer honestly.
Yes.
Goes without saying. Yeah.
But yeah, so essentially there'll be a portion where you're actually doing responsible persons for your form. Essentially every responsible person needs to upload that. And this is the benefit of being the only one on a trust versus having multiple people on a trust. So if you do the single item trust or a single shot trust, hey, new item, I'm the only one on here. Once I get it back, I can add my wife to it with just a notary signature. So pros and cons there.
But essentially what I'm hearing is if you have multiple NFA items and if you're in a somewhat good relationship with your spouse or maybe anybody else that you're living with who might have direct contact with your firearm, it's probably a good, or whatever NFA item you're dealing with, it's probably a good idea to have multiple item trusts or a full trust with with the other person on it.
And then when you're going through the waiting process for that, if you have multiple trusts and at the same time, they'll often get, I think it's called batching or something. They'll put the trust together. So it's not like like when I did mine, I bought the suppressor and I bought the suppressor and the SBR at the same time. They were on 2 different trusts. But
they'll put the forms together.
Yeah, they came through at the exact same time.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's not like I picked up a can one
I'm
day
going to see if I can game at the end of the year. See if I can get how fast I can get one done by submitting one before 1/1/2026, then submitting a couple after 1/1/2026 to see if they all come back together.
Yeah.
So I might pay $200 to speed up 3 others. But
well, you just gave your secret away.
I know. Well, the problem is what gun store is going to be open New Year's Day?
Right.
So really, like
maybe a whole bunch of them this year.
Maybe.
Jordan will probably be working.
Well, you get like Silencer Central, Silencer Shop, all those companies that are like, I know I've been sitting on a can for a while that I'm just going to go out and pay the $200 on here. I just need to get to the gun store. But essentially, are they all going to submit those on 1/1?
Yeah.
And essentially, the influx that's going to happen is going to be insane on the first of the year.
I think there's actually, I think it's actually the NRA of all the groups. I think there's actually a lawsuit challenging the NFA again because they were able to get it down to
4
0.
different gun rights groups have the NFA in their target.
Right. I know that. I know the one I've been seeing the most is the NRA. I don't know. Actually, don't know if NAGR is part of that, but I know. NRA is, I know, I think FPC is a part of that, and there's a couple of other ones that are all, once again, attacking the NFA. And, that's ultimately, if that law that got passed earlier this year had gone a little bit different, this podcast episode would be looking a lot different. We'd just be talking about what our favorite cans are.
I think at the end of the day, the distinction needs to be made is, can you define something as a tax when there's no dollars being collected?
If it's a $0 tax, is it really a tax?
Yes.
Or like an extra permission slip.
It's more of an application at that point in a registry.
Which is
because
something we're supposed to have here.
Essentially, it was shortly after the NFA was enacted, there was a lawsuit that went through challenging the constitutionality of it. And the reasoning that it stood was the essentially the all the documents you're putting in are for tax registration tracking purposes, not gun registration.
Right.
Because the ATF is not allowed to have a gun registry
Correct. No one is.
because it's a national security threat.
Yep. And then so essentially it's been a tax registration and tax paperwork the whole time.
But now there's no tax.
Well, there is, but it's $0. So can it be defined as a tax? And I guess in my mind, my non-lawyer mind, is that needs to be defined first.
Yeah.
Is can a tax be $0?
I don't know. I guess.
Yep.
Are there any other examples of $0 taxes?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah.
I can't think of any. But again, we're going to be.
Let us
incredibly
know if you know
biased.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to be incredibly biased on this subject
Yep.
because we're all gun
Well, and-
owners and we like buying guns and
Yeah.
owning guns.
So
And the different types of gun.
Yeah.
so now we're kind of into the we have our trust, we have all our paperwork, responsible people.
Fingerprints, everything else.
Yep.
Passport photos.
So now we get into the it's Form 1 side of it is you need to tell them all about the firearm that you're making.
What goes on the Form 1 again? I know you can do like I think it's a short-barreled shotgun, a short-barreled rifle. There's other stuff. That's on the Form 1,
Suppressors,
right? Suppressors are on the Form 1.
AOWs, I think AOWs, but like literally anything on the NFA would be a Form 1. So like you want to build a machine gun, that would be a Form 1.
Okay.
Because you are manufacturing now. So it really doesn't matter your status
Not that you could do that necessarily.
as an individual, correct?
Yeah.
The FFL can, right?
Yeah, if you have your SOT.
Yeah, all
right.
the-
Which
all
is
the
that-
permission slips for that.
That's
Yep.
a whole other can of worms. Yeah.
Yep.
But I still want people to think they can just manufacture a machine gun if they
But
want.
so most common these days is going to be the SBR or suppressor. For the SBR, if you're the maker of it, essentially, so you bought the lower, you went through the 4473, the whole FFL process got transferred to you. Essentially, you are not creating a serial number, so therefore you are the maker of it. In there, when you start going through the process, it'll ask you who the manufacturer of it is. Well, you start typing in AT3 Tactical or Arrow or Battle Arms. Essentially, they'll pre-populate. Kind of the one tricky part is a lot of companies have done manufacturing under multiple variances. So, secret's out. Not many companies that produce lowers manufacture them themselves. So, like, I know, right? Secret's out. So we'll use Anderson here as an example. I forget how many lowers a month they were producing under their own name, like 60,000 a year, 80,000 a year, something.
It was a lot.
It was a lot, but they were also producing under variances for other companies too. It was actually probably closer to 10x is what they actually produced. It's just it didn't go under their FFL because it would be under like AT3's FFL. It's just they're the variant making them for them.
That's called OEM manufacturing.
Yep,
So-
you could call it that.
It's very common, not just in our space, but
all
Everywhere.
kinds of
across
space.
the board.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
One company making the parts for tons of other companies.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so depending on how that variance is set up, like I think Palmetto, they have like 6 or 7 different inputs that you could pick. And this is probably the most confusing.
You said it.
You boomers. Or you Gen Z.
You said it. I'm just saying.
Brain rot.
I'm the only Zoomer on the staff, guys. I got to pull my
So
weight.
Palmetto has a bunch of different variances out there. So like this is where it can get confusing. And I'll be honest, I don't like you just got to start looking. I've seen some lowers with the actual manufacturer code on there. So when you say you go pick the drop down, we'll use Air Precision. They have Air Precision and Air Precision Inc.
Yeah.
Well, which one do you pick? Well, what does your lower say? What is engraved on your lower? Start with that one. Then you should have a bunch of model numbers under there. If your model number's shown, you probably picked the right one. I have seen some Palmetto lowers with the actual maker, with the manufacturer code. It's like a little 4-digit code like GD05 or something.
Yeah.
I've actually seen those on some lowers. So if you see that code, go through the different palmettos and figure out which one has the right manufacturer code, and you're going to be good.
Yeah.
In the ones I've done, I've had to guess on a few, and I've never been denied on them.
Yeah.
I don't even know if the ATF really knows at that instance. But essentially, you'll put in the model.
Yeah.
It'll ask for a caliber as well. Make sure to read it very closely, because essentially it'll ask you for the size of the caliber, and then essentially like the moniker of it. Is it millimeter? Is it caliber? So you don't necessarily want to do 5.56 caliber.
Yeah.
That is a millimeter.
Because that name is a measurement of the
So
diameter,
now if you did 223, that would be a caliber.
Like in your case, it's a 6.5, right?
a 300 blackout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
So is that technically a 308?
762?
Yeah.
I believe 76.
Yeah. That's technically a 308.
Well, it'd be a 300 caliber.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's smaller than, yeah. But, so essentially you could put in like 762. I believe that's the right one.
See, this is where you need to go look.
Yeah.
Someone
yeah.
got in the
I need to
comments
make
will
sure.
let you know what you would
But
get for 300
yeah,
black.
at the
Yeah,
same
sure.
time, National Gun Trust, great information on this stuff. Like literally, if you just take their written stuff step by step as you're going through the form, answers a lot of it. They're great communication. If you have questions, you can always email them.
You said you emailed
and
somebody like late at night, right? And
Yep.
they kind of like got back to you almost right away.
And we are not affiliated with National Gun Trust. It's just service I've used personally.
Yeah.
And have had great experiences with them.
They're just super cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
But so once you get through that, it'll probably the one that trips people up the most is overall length. Well, how do you know what the overall length is without manufacturing it?
Yeah. Without putting the stock on.
It's catch-22. They got you. Essentially, it's to the best of your ability. If you're off by an inch, I have not heard of any cases actually like throwing someone in jail over that.
Yeah.
I believe in the ATF writing, it is like estimate to the best of your knowledge. And there's ways that you can estimate this. Like, okay, here's a lower with the stock that I want on it. And it's the stock at full extension.
Yeah.
So if you're going to run that thing super compact, they don't care. What is the stock at full extension? How long can it get? You
could probably just put the stock like next to your gun.
That might be intent.
And,
Yeah, you might have intent.
Yeah, you want to be
that's true.
like
Yeah.
in all seriousness, like intent could be having the buttstock in your shopping cart online. Intent could be it's in your house somewhere. So like you're
This
kind
is
of
when
in
we
that.
get into the wild world of ATF interpretations
Yes.
of law,
Yes. So
which is not something they're supposed to do, but it is something they often do.
at the end of the day, it's kind of like, you know what? Keep them separated. And you know, if you're off by an inch, big deal. Like I said, I have yet to hear of anyone having issues with not being correct. But there are some ways like, okay, a buffer tube is going to extend this far, or really you get a buttstock and a buffer tube. You can measure your pistol all the way back to the end of the lower receiver, and then measure a buffer tube with the stock, and there's kind of your overall length there.
Yeah.
With an AK, you can just measure the stock and add it to the.
Yep.
You can get the measurement of the stock and add it to the measurement of the receiver, and
Yep.
you're going to get a rough guesstimate.
It'll
You'll have
get
to
you within an
attach
inch
them, but-
or so. But then the other thing you have to do too is you have to send them pictures of any markings on the lower as well.
Oh, sure.
You take a cell phone picture, you upload it, and you essentially be very literal on what it says. You don't need to describe the image a whole lot. Like every time I've done one, like our lowers, they say St. Michael, Minnesota. St. Michael, Minnesota. The safety indicators or icons, I usually just write safety icon fire, safety icon safe.
Yeah.
So, but then, kind of once, that's probably the hardest part of it, is filling out the information for your specific firearm that you're making or suppressor.
Yeah.
The other thing with suppressors, I personally have not done a Form 1 on a can, but I believe I've seen that they actually ask, like, where do you acquire the materials to make it? What tools are you using to make it? I'm sure there's a very simple, like, one of the reasons they ask you is, why are you making this SBR? For all legal purposes, or for any legal purpose. I'm sure with suppressors and manufacturing them, there's probably some statement like that that you can use, but you have to do a little research into, like,
Ear protection.
yes, but it's like, where do you use in a manufacturer? Plastic. Okay, are you using PLA, PETG, ASA, carbon fiber? Like, what are you using? I don't know how in detail you need to get with them.
Sure. That'd probably be a different show in general, and how to, like, making SBRs or manufacturing SBRs. That'd actually be kind of interesting.
Manufacturing suppressors.
Yeah.
That would be a really fun one to do. I know, actually, Smarter Every Day. I don't know if you've seen his channel. He has a really good video.
Dustin?
Yeah. There's a really good video where they use the high-speed camera to shoot through an acrylic can, so you can actually see what the suppressor is doing.
Yep.
That's cool.
So that one.
Did
put a card, I guess.
they did the one with the clear integrated barrel? That was super cool.
Yeah, he's done a bunch of really cool stuff with guns.
Good old Southern boy, right there. But yeah, so once you get through, like, inputting all the information about your gun, like, you are 90% done. The last thing it's going to ask you is to upload your trust. Go through that, you upload it. Depending on the size of your trust, I forget, they have a max size that you can import a PDF for. They're
Because trusts are huge, like legal documents.
can be.
Right, yeah.
Well, so the other thing too is a lot of the times there's, like, the core of your trust, but then there's a lot of supporting documents that go with it. Like, if you ever want to make an amendment to your trust, or you want to add someone or remove someone, the ATF doesn't need those. I think National Gun Trust, their single item trust, is like 8 pages, but you're going to print out like 20 because there's all these supporting documents to them.
Okay.
But you only need to upload what they need. So, like, literally with the National Gun Trust, it says gun trust starts here, gun trust ends here. It's like 8 pages in the middle of those. Send that.
Okay.
There's also something called a 24-month exception, which we touched on earlier. Essentially, that would be is, hey, this is going under a multi-item trust. Nothing has changed. I'm going to attest that nothing has changed on the trust. Therefore, you don't need to read it again.
Yeah, got it.
And essentially, you just upload a form that you fill out that says that you haven't changed anything on the trust. No people have changed, stuff like that. So, like, you guys have already approved this once. You don't need to read it again. But if that's something that you're going to do, like reading the specifics on that, can help speed up the process, maybe. But I don't know many people have done 24-month exceptions. So it seems in most instances they just send the trusts again. And then after that, you're kind of onto the pay section. And
hopefully that'll be...
There's just a screen that says, hey, I attest everything's true. Do that, you pay, you send it, it asks...
Pay $0 on the first.
And the biggest thing is you'll create a PIN code when you create your ATF account. Do not forget that PIN code, because every time you hit submit, it'll ask you for the PIN code, whether it's Form 1, Form 4, Form 3, whatever it is. They'll ask you for that.
Got it.
So,
and then you're on to what, engraving?
Yes. Yes. So essentially, before your SBR or suppressor or any NFA item is 100% legal, say you got the approval back, your forms have been, or your stamp's been approved, you got your tax stamp, you got your trust. Now you need to go get this engraved. There's very kind of specific minimum requirements for what needs to be engraved. Usually, if you're the manufacturer, that would be like serial number, trust name, or corporation, or whatever, individual name, location, and caliber. Now, if you're the maker, there's already a serial number engraved on it. The manufacturer's already engraved on it. So as the maker, you just need to do your trust name or your individual name. Essentially, there's a box. I forget what the exact number is on it, but it's like whatever's in box 3B is what you need to engrave for the name. And then there's a location, which is usually the city and state that the trust is in or the individual is in. Go find some guy that can do it locally. and usually they can do it while you wait. It charges anywhere from $50 to like $150. It could be.
Or you just ask Charlie.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
that, yeah. I'll just ask you, your nice engraver at home.
$150.
That's
for
right.
you.
Okay.
A video for later.
Yeah.
But so there's minimum requirements. Minimum is super easy to hit for the engraving. Like it is tiny.
I just realized between all you guys, I can almost do this whole process. Because your wife's a notary, you have an engraver. I just need someone to do fingerprints. I'm basically pretty much done.
Whenever
I can
you
do my passport.
The other
photo.
thing too is when you're engraving, always ask the person, can they like aluminum black it when they're done? Because when you engrave aluminum, it's going to be white. Depending on how they finish the engraving, it's either going to be like a dull gray or like a bright white. Well, on a black gun,
Yeah.
you might want it to stay white. That's up to you.
Take some sight black.
Yep.
Roll it over.
But
Can you do aluminum black over it? once
yes,
you're done? Okay.
you
Sweet.
can. It literally takes a couple minutes. You let it sit for 20 minutes. You wipe it off when you're done. Really, if it sits longer than 20 minutes, it's not going to hurt anything. I know the ones I've done, I usually just swipe it with the aluminum black and send them home and say, hey, when you get home, just wipe this off. And most people are pretty happy with it. Yeah. Now, if you have a Cerakote lower or something that's painted, a little more difficult.
Yeah.
There are ways that, like, if it's single color, essentially you can kind of mask it off, spray it, and then you wipe off the flats.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just left in the recess that you engraved, and you can get it looking pretty good. Okay. But now if you're doing a full custom build, you might want to engrave it before you coat it.
Oh, sure, yeah.
That would be the ultimate way to make sure that the finish is good.
Yeah, yeah. So then you have it engraved, you get approved, you get it engraved.
If you got a stamp and it's engraved, build that thing and go
Then
shoot
you
it.
can slap the upper on there, slap your stock, your forward grip. You got an SPR.
If you
Totally
go
registered.
somewhere to get it engraved, just bring the lower.
Yeah.
Disassemble it as much as you can. Most engravers, if you think of even a short SBR, you're still looking at 2 feet long, 24 inches or so.
Yeah, yeah.
Most engravers, they might have that amount of room to work with, but you're going to be their best friend if you minimize the size that they have to deal with.
Sure, sure.
Because they'll usually have like an exhaust fan somewhere. They might have something else on their laser table that they might. I keep a rotary on my laser table all the time.
Yeah.
Because I hate setting that thing up. But
So if you're using an AR for this, just bring the lower.
just bring the lower.
Spring lower, yeah. Take it home and then slap your upper on there.
Yep.
Get your stock on there that you've been
Yeah,
waiting
because
on.
legally, until it's engraved, you can't
Yeah.
have them together with the stock on. You could have the brace, but so now once it gets engraved, you can put the two together and have fun.
Awesome.
So that's kind of like the very high level of the process. The biggest thing is there's a couple gotchas in there, which are usually up front.
Okay.
The trust, fingerprints, passport photo, and notaries. Notary, and then scanning all the documents in.
Oh, yeah.
The scanning's probably the one that most people don't talk about. I guess in my experience doing these, no one ever said, like, it's kind of shouldn't have to be said that I'm gonna need to scan this thing that I signed to upload.
Yeah.
But it's like, shoot, I don't have a scanner. Like, I can use my phone, but it's 8 pages.
Yep, genius scan, I'm telling you, that thing's fast. You go, whoosh,
Yep. Or let's say, hey,
super quick.
I say I want an SBR 5 guns. They're all individuals.
Oh.
That's 40 pages. And picture, like, I'll be honest, I hate using my cell phone for that kind of stuff. I would much rather sit at a full-size computer, scan them in one by one, put them in a folder. Because the thing is, too, is this is your trust. This is a legal document that's going to follow this firearm for the rest of its life.
Until the NFA gets destroyed.
So not 100% clear if things in the past would be essentially brought up to date that you don't need stamps anymore, or anything in the past would still be stamped.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if there's no need for a stamp, I will just private sale it to myself.
You do what you do.
If there's no need, right?
Correct. But
Also, I mean, you might still always have that trust. With
yeah,
you
we don't-
unless
we don't
you
know.
like
Well,
dissolve that trust or something like that because it's no longer necessary.
trusts are
but-
used for a lot of different legal things.
Yeah. Like setting up that trust almost has nothing to do
Oh, man,
with.
these are lawyer questions.
Yeah.
Yes. And
for sure.
If a trust is something that you really want to get into, the one from National Gun Trust is like a great like blanket trust for you, me, Josh, CJ, everyone.
Yeah.
But now say you want one that's more tailored to you. That's where you would want to go talk to attorneys.
Yeah.
There's usually firearm trust attorneys that specialize in that stuff here. I know in Minnesota we have Ben Rust. He's kind of the go-to gun trust guy, gun attorney here in Minnesota.
It'd be cool to have him on the show sometime. That'd be cool.
He's busy.
Yeah, I'm sure. Especially now. Yeah.
But so that's something that you can look into. And like one of the things with trust is funding of trusts. So, okay, let's say something were to happen and it's going to cost $200 to transfer this. Well, there's 3 people on the trust. Who's paying that $200? That's an argument waiting to happen.
Yeah. Whosever idea it was.
Or you could fund the trust, say put $200 into it, so that transfer is going to be covered in the future. So essentially, essentially every trust needs some funding in it, is my understanding.
Yeah.
With National Gun Trust, you just say, I want to put $1 in it. It's fine. You essentially you just put $1 in the envelope with it or start a bank account. Up to you what you want to do there. But essentially like you do need some funding with trusts, especially if you're going to make movements when there's multiple people in it, because a lot of times you'll hear about this with like deaths in the family. There is an estate trust built up.
Yeah.
Well, who's paying property taxes this year?
I don't know.
Hopefully the trust has some funding in it to cover that.
Yeah.
There's a couple bank accounts tied to it, but if not, that's going to have to come out of one of the individuals of the trust. Well, now is that fair that you just paid property taxes on this house and the other person on the trust didn't?
Yeah.
And that's how you split apart families very quickly.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, at the end of the day, I guess for me in these forms, Form 1s, Form 4s, there's a bunch of different ones too, but as kind of end users, Form 1s and Form 4s are really the only ones you need to worry about.
Yeah.
They're pretty easy. You follow instructions. And if you can follow instructions, you can do it.
Yeah. And then maybe ask people if you guys know anybody in your life who's done it, like you know, you guys or whatever. But
I mean,
it's like,
even if you don't know anyone, Reddit is actually a really good resource for this.
Yep.
The NFA subreddit. In my opinion, the NFA subreddit's one of the better ones to actually get a feel for what's going on. They've actually got a mega thread they keep pinned every month on what the times are on the forums. You can see like they'll have I forget how it's filled out exactly, but everyone that is participating in that, they'll be like, oh, I bought on this day, I finished my form on this day.
There's some Facebook groups too, like Suppressor Haven and stuff like that. And
this is a really good way to get advice from people.
ATF actually puts they put all this stuff out. Yeah, and now how realistic are their numbers? It's actually probably more realistic than what you'd see on Reddit, because they're taking all these edge cases into account. So if you Google ATF wait times, essentially you'll get a page from the ATF that says Form 1s, this many days. But then
do it right now.
they break out Form 1 or Form 4 trusts or Form 4 individuals and then Form 4s as well. They break those out too, so you can get a good idea. And then if you scroll to the bottom, you can see how many were processed, how many applied, how many were processed, et cetera, et cetera. So it's
So according to the ATF website on November 11th, the day after the shutdown ended, ATF Form 1 paper wait times are 28 days. E-forms are 8 days. Form 2s are 6 and 1.
E-forms will always be quicker.
Yeah, so you got 8 day wait time for Form 1. A Form 4 trust is 23 days. A Form 4 individual is 10.
When did they update that?
That was updated as of August. So these are from
August 2025. So this was pre-shutdown.
Yep, pre-shutdown.
So
this
that's the one.
hasn't been
That's the
updated
one
yet.
thing is they usually they update it around like the 12th to the 14th of the month. But being that they've been shut down,
Yeah.
that didn't happen last
So
month.
if we check another group that does it is Silencer Shop.
Yep.
They have what they're seeing because they
Yep.
also handle
They
a
have-
ton of these.
And they might be a little more realistic to what you would see because, like, essentially they're people like you and me going through there, and not a lot of edge cases.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for them, according to them, they just have Form 4s on here, no Form 1s.
Yep.
Trusts are 1 to 18 days, individuals are 1 to 17 days, corporates are 4 to 9 days. And the corporate one is actually going to matter more than you think because if you go to your favorite gun shop and you're trying to buy an SBR, so you're trying to buy like a Mark 18 from Daniel Defense, chances are that shop doesn't have a Mark 18 right there. They're going to have to.
So
get
I
one sent
believe
in.
that is a Form 3.
Right, which is 4 hours to 3 days for their.
Yes. So
But then it says medium, 21 hours.
you're essentially, let's say I'm an FFL, I'm an 0702, so I have my 07 FFL and my 02 SOT. Essentially, if, say you're the producer of this, you're the manufacturer, you're an 0702 as well, and I want it from you because I need to sell it to a customer, we do a Form 3 between us. Essentially, it's very quick approval, hours to like anywhere from like 1 hour to 48 hours on average, sometimes up to 3 days. I know during the government shutdown, these were one of the things that were kind of pushed back a bit. So essentially, like if you ordered a can day one of the government shutdown, they couldn't even ship it until this form was approved. So little bit of a delay there. Now you still have to do your Form 4 for it too. So like he really waited. Bad timing on your part.
No, bad timing on the government's part.
Well, yeah, they
The
should.
customer's never wrong.
Government circles around me.
Yeah.
I am number one. But so essentially those usually go pretty quick. But again, NFA items, every transfer needs a form behind it. And yeah, so Form 3s usually go pretty quick. Form 4s, would it say like 1 to 20 days or something?
It was
And it was relatively the same for individuals and trusts. The thing I found
trust.
interesting.
Median time on trust is 8 days right now, according to Silencer Shop, and individual is 12. So individual
Interesting.
is 4 days longer than trust, which is not
That's not normal.
not normal.
I feel like we can come back in January and
it'll be totally different.
see how long those times are then. Probably be like,
So
60
these
days, 40
these
days.
dates from Silencer Shop reflect as of today,
Yep.
November 11th.
Yep,
So
because they
those are
aren't a
pretty
government
fast.
entity that shuts down.
So that's
That
another
easily.
resource. And then the third way that I would check that is go to Reddit and actually
Yep.
see what people are reporting, because that's everyone but then again, you're just talking about people on Reddit.
Well,
Yeah.
and everyone's different too. Like, if you have a very common name, it's probably going to take a little longer. One of the easy tells is if you ever go buy a firearm from an FFL, are you an instant proceed or are you a researching? Do you get an answer from your dealer in 2 minutes? Yep, you're good to go. Let's keep moving. Or is it like 30 minutes? And that's where like providing your social security number can help speed things up. But I know plenty of people that they have fairly common names, and essentially they need to get what's called a UPIN. If you've been denied, I don't have one. I've never gone through this process, so I can barely speak to it. But essentially, if you've been denied before on your background check, even though you shouldn't have been, you can get what's called a UPIN, and you apply for it, and essentially it's a unique PIN.
So actually, fun story about that. My buddy Edward last year, he bought his very first AR-15. His name's Edward Hernandez. Very common name in Sweetwater, Texas, where I was just at.
Yep.
The very unfortunate thing is a guy born in the same hospital, not the same hospital, but like the neighboring hospital to his, on the same day has the same name, Edward Hernandez. So their social security number is very, very, very close.
It's a typo away.
And they have the same exact name. This other Edward Hernandez,
Great
has-
guy, I bet.
has
Great
three-
guy.
has 3 felonies.
Oh,
So when he went to buy that gun, it actually, because we ran it through the company FFL, we had to hold on to it for like 90 days.
Yep.
And then we had to actually re-engage with the ATF and be like, hey,
Oh, that's
what's
Brady
going on
law.
with
3
this?
days, you transfer that. That's Brady law.
Yeah, we had to wait a long time. And then we actually had to re-engage with the ATF because we almost, at my last business, we almost never used our FFL.
Yep.
So it was like,
Well, and like little things can cause delays. Like essentially, what they're going to do is they're going to put a search out, and essentially it's going to start looking at records and courts. Probably one of the worst things you could have is an open court case. Because if a court responds back with, yes, we have this person with a case, this is what the charges are.
Yeah.
Like, okay, are they trying to beat this system?
Yeah.
So
you could be a convicted felon at some point.
Could be, could not. Like DWIs can cause issues, even though like your first one shouldn't. Usually isn't a felony.
Yeah.
But those can cause processing delays for like, instead of it being an instant approval, it might take a day or two for them to get back to you on it for the approval. But so all those things can kind of add up. But yeah, usually if you get instant approvals when you go buy firearms, usually your forms are going to come through pretty quick too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Wow.
especially now that it's no longer the beginning. It's the real kicker is I finally bought my dream gun, and the ATF was like, "Hey, he bought it. Let's make him wait 6 months."
and now everything else is
And
faster.
now everyone else is getting theirs done because by the time mine came back, everyone was starting to get the 24 to 72 hour
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
returns on their forms.
I think fastest for me has been like just over 36 hours on a Form 4.
That's insanely fast.
But at the end of the day, like they're getting better at it, and never, if you can prevent it, do not submit paper, e-file everything. And there technically is a difference. Like if someone says Form 1, technically that is paper.
Yeah.
I think in the modern era we dropped the E from things, even though we still call it email. But so everything you're doing through the ATF site is technically an E form, is what you're doing. But I wouldn't do it any other way.
Sure.
If you have to go get fingerprints done and they're like, hey, here's your card, like, no, give me the ETF.
Yeah.
Or I don't want to do it here. So if you need to go get your fingerprints done, that's probably a question to ask is, can I get the ETF file of my fingerprints? Because then you can just upload them right away instead of mail them in after you submit. So
Yeah. Man, guys,
That's
this
all.
has been
That's all extra time.
Yeah,
Yep.
this has been a great education for me. I feel like I'm gonna jump out of the office right now, go get my fingerprints done, get my picture taken, and get everything set.
I'm sure
Yeah, I
cops
can
already have
submit
your
everything.
fingerprints,
Yeah.
CJ.
Well, yeah. I don't want to ask him for that again.
You got 60 days before it's free. So
Sure.
Right.
you know
Sure,
we're
yeah.
gonna have a lot of fun stuff happening once those are free. So
Yeah, and the biggest thing, I'm just excited. The thing I'm excited to see is buttstock sales versus brace sales.
Oh, sure.
How that's going to shift. Because at the end of the day, if you aren't going to do this, you still under 16-inch barrel, still got to put a brace on those
Yeah.
sub 16-inch barrels.
Yeah.
unless you're pinned and welded.
Correct.
That's something a lot of
Yes,
people are
yes.
thinking about. Pinned and welded is going to become way less popular.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And for those that don't know, essentially you need to be a rifle. One of the characteristics of it is it needs to be a 16-inch barrel. Now, it does not need 16 inches of rifling. It needs to be a single piece that is 16 inches from essentially the bolt face to the end of the barrel. Well, the barrel is anything permanently attached.
So including the muzzle device.
So it's very common. A lot of muzzle devices are about 1.5 inches, 1.75 inches long. You get a 14.5-inch barrel, and then you pin and weld a muzzle device to it. That brings you over that 16-inch length. There are barrels out there that are shrouded as well.
Yeah.
Very common in like the PCC 9mm world.
I think Odin Works makes some.
Odin Works, TACOM. There's some weird ones out there, but essentially what they're doing is they're welding a shroud to the barrel. So you might have 7 inches of actual like rifling in there, but then you have a 16-inch shroud that's permanently attached.
Keeps things lightweight, which is nice.
Lightweight, but also it saves a $200 problem.
And a lot of paperwork.
Well, one of the problems is with ARs, you get so short, like before you know it, you're like this.
Yeah, scrunched up.
And I mean, a lot of the times I want my left arm, my non-dominant arm, to be somewhat straight.
I think the 10-3 on the Mark 18, I think that's as short as I'd ever go.
Yep,
'Cause I got,
it's a good
I got
length.
giant arm, like
Yep.
super long arms.
Yeah.
And that 10-3, even with the stock fully out.
I mean, that Novox build that I did, the battle arms with the Novox barrel in there, like that thing's stubby.
Yeah, yeah. My 7.5 inch 300 black, like that's too short. What I found is if I kind of cant my wrist out, then it's like it actually feels a lot better. But so then what I found was actually if I put a foregrip on this, it would be very comfortable.
10 inches.
So that's why it's like, oh, I'd love to get a foregrip.
Kind of
on
like a
this thing.
10-inch handguard is very comfortable still. I think on the Nerf gun it's like 11.5 or something. And that thing's super
Once you
comfy to
finish
shoot.
that Novox, I think you're gonna Cerakote it. So
I got it all blasted last night, man.
So once you get that done, we're gonna have to take pictures for that guy. He's super stoked that someone's finally using that thing.
Yep. But yeah, that's a fun one. Maybe we'll save that for later once all the paperwork's done on it and it's all finalized. But yeah, like at the end of the day, I don't know. There's a lot of benefits to SBR in something.
Oh yeah. Just having an SBR lower.
Yep.
Is nice because it
Well, you got to be careful with that because when you SBR something, you are defining the barrel length, the OAL, like it asks
the caliber.
Yep, and the caliber.
Yeah.
And so essentially
like,
you
you
are
can't
tying all this stuff together. So
You can't make like a 300 blackout whatever and then
go slap a 5.56
let me
upper
flap
on
a
it.
5.56 and
Yes.
slap a different thing and
Yeah, you're kind of walking into gray area there, like might even be black area there that you just don't even want to, like it might actually be illegal what you do. Now, if you're doing something where it's like, I'm going to add a barrel that's 1 inch longer, most people probably won't know.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you take a picture of the actual gun, send that into the ATF, or like you document every little thing. No, you can change stuff around on them. But essentially, you are putting in an application for a specific configuration.
Yeah.
And if that configuration doesn't match,
Yeah. There could be a problem.
you could have some trouble your way. Now, the other thing too I've heard, and this kind of goes into some personal, like how do you want to deal with this, is your traditional law enforcement officer cannot ask to see your stamp because that is a tax record. The only people that can ask to see your stamp, from my understanding, is the IRS and the ATF. So now the question is there.
So Bubba at the range can't ask to see it?
Correct. But now, to put that all into perspective, is Bubba at the range, he's the RSO, the FUD there, that, hey, that SBR, I want to see your paperwork. No, thank you, you aren't the tax man.
Yeah.
Okay, stay right here, I'm going to call the police. They call the police. You tell the same thing to law enforcement.
Yeah.
Sorry, you aren't the tax man or the ATF.
Then they call
Then
the IRS.
They call their local ATF field agent who comes in. And now how long that took? Maybe 2 hours, all said and done. You took your time.
Yeah.
You really pissed some people off along the way.
Yeah.
And if anything's not right, they're going to throw the book at you. Where this could have been stopped if the RSO said, hey, I want to see your stamp. Here you go, bud.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially if you had like the actual stamp that's totally,
or even on your
fine,
phone
good to
for
go.
it. Like,
And this is where it really gets down to like just don't be a
dick.
dick.
Yeah.
Well, that's like also a two-way street. If you're
Yep.
an RSO and someone's shooting an SBR, like there's
Yeah.
no reason for you to be a dick. Just
If he's acting reasonably, responsibly, his gun looks reasonable and responsible.
I
it's like-
know if there's a job I will never take, and it's to be an RSO at a public range. But if I was in those shoes, I don't want to know. Like, seriously, as soon as I know, there's liabilities on me. I would rather not know that they did not register it. I'd rather assume that they did.
Yeah.
It's kind of our philosophy here at AT3. Like, we assume all our customers are great people, they're trustworthy. Like, there is no reason to assume that, like, oh, Brian's a dick. Like, you know, like, oh, he's going to go do something illegal. No, like,
Brian might be a dick, but Greg is a great guy.
Oh, Greg's great.
Greg is a great guy.
you just got to
He
teach
just
him
gotta
some
clean his
stuff.
gun.
Yeah, he's just got to
Yeah.
clean his gun every now and then.
Clean your gun.
Any other questions on it? Like,
Man, dude, that's a lot. I guess maybe as I go through, but even you said like National Gun Trust, like all these things. There's lots of great resources out there.
Go check out National Gun Trust.
Yeah.
Tell them AT3 Tactical sent you.
Yeah.
We have no affiliation with them. There's no. They've offered us affiliate links for it before. We don't have affiliate links for them. We make $0.
Yeah.
The goal would be is that if you're building one,
I don't even think we have.
Come talk to us.
Do we even carry any NFA stuff? We don't carry any suppressors or SPRs.
Nope, we don't do any NFA stuff right now.
We do have
the parts to build them.
Shorter barrel options. But like chances are most people are getting that or putting it on a pistol anyways.
Yeah,
because it's just easier to build a pistol.
Hey, we have shorter barrels and we have stocks.
All right, hot take time.
Hot take time?
All right.
5.56 SBR.
I don't really see the point, personally. That cartridge, I think it was designed for, I believe it was a 14.5-inch barrel originally, was the original version of it. I mean, the original...
That was a longer barrel.
Well, it was actually a 20-inch barrel is the original.
Then it came down.
And then it came down when they actually issued them to depending on like which year and all that stuff you did. But in my mind, I think 20 inches, like the longer you get with 5.56, the more performance you seem to get out of it. So to go shorter, it's like all of a sudden you're over-penetrating. And then,
it's kind of what they say about anything, though. The longer, the better the performance.
Yeah. But I mean, what I'm saying is there are certain cartridges that are designed to operate better in shorter barrels. So 5.56 doesn't seem to be one of those. It seems like you're trying to jam a square peg into a round hole.
So
in my opinion,
I'm going to have to completely disagree with you because the 10.3, the Mark 18, that thing's been putting in work for like 25 years now.
Yeah, that's true.
That thing got super popular in Iraq. It's been super popular. Everyone's like, with a 10.3, you can't shoot past 100 yards. It's like, no, like you just can't shoot past 100 yards.
Well, I guess, what do you mean by a shorter barrel? Like how short do you mean? Under 16 inches?
What's the shortest you would go?
For 5.56?
Yeah.
For me, for any gun, if it's a rifle or an SBR or a pistol that is a pistol in a...
Pistole?
Yeah. A pistol in a braced configuration.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think 10.3. 10 is probably my limit. I know this... You can do 7 if you're going to put a suppressor on there, but anything shorter than 10, at least for me, that's when it gets ergonomically uncomfortable. 10 is like... And then 10 is still squeezing it in.
It's
but
tight.
Anything shorter than 10 is when it starts getting ergonomically uncomfortable for me. So if you're going to go with an even shorter barrel than 10, like you got to tuck the suppressor so that you still get the real estate on the handguard so that it's comfortable to shoot.
And you aren't just gripping the mag well?
Right. Now, if
like
it's
the Navy does?
If it's we actually started doing that in like Fallujah is when that really got popular.
Okay, the Marines do it too then.
So,
well, I know the Army does. I've seen Kevin
shoot.
The
real reason for that is, man, you're out there all day, just kicking in people's doors, running around.
Going out like this?
You're tired.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're tired. So you're just, and you got the magazine on your magazines, and you're just like trying not to fall asleep while you're walking. But, and then you get down into like PCCs though. Even with a PCC, I need to have more than a 10-inch barrel because, or at least a 10-inch handguard. Because anything shorter than that, like the 7s, that's when it starts getting like the Hawk. It's the Hawk. We've got like the 7-inch Hawks.
Yep. Little guys.
Yeah.
Those are.
That's one I have on my FD in black SBR. The Hawk, especially with the mouse kicking out, like you're like right here with it.
Yeah.
And at that point, like, especially if we're talking like a PCC, at that point, I'd rather just have a clock.
The 11.5 Vulcan from Stinger is very comfortable. Because you get right out to the end of it, little bend in the elbow, very comfortable.
I think it all depends. Like to answer your earlier question, Charlotte, it all depends on your application. Like if you're in a really small, let's say, I don't know, really small rambler of a house or something like that, and you have really tight hallways, it's like, maybe it doesn't matter as maybe going with a super long, obviously a 16-inch gun or a 20-inch gun, it's not going to be the right thing for you.
The gas guy gun that I built that was like 4 feet long.
Yeah. Yeah. When you extended that all the way out, the actual length was probably like, I don't even know how long that was. Yeah, it was like 4 feet long. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, I think it all depends on your application. Maybe you do live in a really small place and you just are really scrunched in. So having that shorty thing might actually be very beneficial for you.
In a 5.56?
Well, no, and that's what I'm saying too.
This is where the thought process comes into it.
Yeah, it's like it all depends on your application. Is it for home defense? Then 5.56. And if you're living in a small rambler of a house, maybe you have other people in other rooms. You're afraid of over penetrating walls.
Well,
5.56. That might not be the best.
9 mil is going to punch through this drywall.
Yep.
Well,
too,
yeah.
so.
Well,
Over penetrating walls, really, you need to worry more about exterior walls because interior walls, they're all going to be penetrated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless you're in like the basement of a split level and you're in the foundation of the house.
Yep.
You're shooting concrete. That's different.
And I guess this is kind of where like 300 Blackout really started gaining some traction was these SBRs. To my knowledge, they don't make a subsonic 5.56 223 round.
Not that I know of.
Not that I've seen.
I think they do. We're gonna Google that.
Maybe.
If you can fact check me there.
Yeah.
I'm a
and then,
5.56
and then let me
max,
know
yeah.
how much it is per round.
Uh-huh.
But now with 300, you get up to like those 200, 220 grain projectiles.
Yeah. VMAX too.
They're
high.
They're essentially they're subsonic.
Yep.
So now you pair that up with a can, you have
like
a good time.
That's like hearing safe, essentially.
I found some. I'm just waiting on it to load. So it does exist. I just can't tell you how much it costs.
or it works.
If it works.
Well, and so that's the other thing too is once you start shortening everything up, your gas dwell time's less.
Yep. You start getting into adjustable gas blocks.
You add a can on it, like you really start messing with things. I guess personally for like an SBR, with or without a cam, like one thing to always keep in mind is probably going to be messing with your buffer. If you have an adjustable gas block, probably going to be messing with your adjustable gas block and buffer.
Yeah.
So just don't think that it's, I'm going to change the configuration, it's going to work. You might need to mess with something.
Yeah.
Especially if, say, you took like an 18-inch rifle and you bring it down to a 7-inch barrel. More than likely, you have a carbine buffer in there with a really light spring. You have a full open gas block. Like
that gas is going to feel
If you're changing the barrel that much, you're putting a new gas system in anyway.
Yeah, you're going to have to regardless. But you might want, I don't know, it might work well actually with a light buffer. But just kind of be ready to mess with stuff.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to a can and then without a can. They make a lot of gas blocks that now you can adjust like on the fly just for that.
Yeah, the collar style.
Yep.
Yeah.
What was
So-
the
They
one
also-
that we just
they
had
also-
on that the one with the
strike one.
Griffin? The strike one.
The
Right?
Strike Industries
was-
collar.
I
Yeah.
actually really liked
There
that.
also are a couple of adjustable BCG options now. They make adjustable gas keys.
I was looking at one today.
On the BCG. I personally like that better because you don't
one-
have to worry about it as much as
The one I saw
gas
today
block.
was adjusting the vents.
Oh, sure.
It was on the side by the vents coming out, and you would adjust it there.
Who's that?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh boy, I forget.
They keep making new stuff, man, all the time.
The one I know of is
Wild.
Sharps. Sharps. I think it's their XPB. They call it. That's the S7 tool steel BCG. Really nice BCG. So and they have the gas key that you adjust. So all the gas that's going in, basically,
Interesting.
that's feeding into the chamber. You adjust it there.
Well, we are getting into a whole
Whole
different
different
discussion
conversation.
where we talk about tuning these things.
Don't stop me, Josh.
We're gonna have to cut it off right here, guys. We will see you in the next one. Let us know if there's something specifically you want us to talk about down in the comments. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next week. See ya.